I want to discuss kind of a big distinction in MetaEthics, and that's between cognitivism and non-cognitivism. And there are a lot of different kind of ethical theories that fall under these two, and I guess I will discuss those a little bit. But first I'll start with non-cognitivism. And I guess you really can't think of it, too much by the word, but it's just kind of a non-cognitivist meta-ethical theory is one that is not realistic. It's not realist. It's talking error theorists, people who think that there are no moral properties, or if there are moral properties, they aren't natural or factual. Morality is not about properties. There's no true false stuff going on here. It isn't about truth conditions. In that morality expresses non-cognitive attitudes, and also part of it is that moral statements do not really express beliefs. So in a way, it does have to do with a cognitive thing, because morality doesn't. It's not about beliefs or properties, and that a moral statement being made, it's not possible that is a belief, really. And a cognitivist moral theory is that moral statements can be true or false, and they can be beliefs, and they can be properties as well. We're talking the moral realists here, and the moral naturalists, and also some of the quasi-realists. Moral statements do predicate properties. So a error theorist could be either one. However, a moral realist, somebody who believes that, or who argues that that there is in a way or another objective morality that can be studied naturally, or can be understood, or can be believed. One can believe that morality is wrong, or that stealing is wrong. So in a way, it is like that. However, a non-cognitivist, people like non-naturalists, people like emotivists, and people are theorists that who don't think that morality is something that can be believed or even studied as beliefs and properties can be. So that's kind of like a really, I guess, cut and dry way of going about it. But I guess I think of like a realist, a moral realist, or a moral naturalist would be a cognitivist, because they look at morality as possibly being able to be studied in the same way that chemistry can. That's a naturalist. Or there are different kinds of realists, like a quasi-realist, who has varying different theories. Like a realist could be a realist and think of there as being some kind of objective morality, but without thinking that this objective morality could be studied in the same way as chemistry can be. A emotivist, which I've done a couple of videos about just now, a emotivist is a non-cognitivist, because an emotivist is one who doesn't think that moral judgments can be facts. A emotivist doesn't think that morality can be studied, or that a moral statement can be true or false, and that that morality and moral statements are expressions of emotions, or feelings. and that moral statements are emotive, really. So that's kind of like a basic distinction. And I guess as to why it's called cognitivism because it can be studied and it can be kind of understood just in the same way as many other subjects of study can be. So we can kind of argue as to so let's say you're like a Kantian and think that lying is wrong all the time. We can, given a cognitivist, we can argue as to the truth or falsity of that. We can argue or study or find the truth or falsity of that, given this some kind of objective morality that we have some belief in, because in order to study it, there has to be something out there to study. There has to be something out there to study and something out there to understand and to grasp, and something that is intersubjective, something that we can all kind of grasp and kind of study in that way. A non-cognitivist, I guess it would be called that because it's a irrealism, and it's that morality cannot be grasped in the way that something that some kind of objective truth could be. It's not possible to be understood or studied in that same way. It can't be understood or believed in that same way. So if you think I've messed something up or left something out, please comment below, because whenever you comment, I get an email, and if your comment is constructive, then I will always respond. I can't think I left anything out. Also, if there's something that you want me to discuss on really any kind of matter of philosophy, and if I know something about it, then I will do it. So, thank you.